fighting fury, we're from Tigerland. In any weather you will see us with a grin.
Well, there's a lot of things happening down at Tigerland, and particularly tomorrow night. There's the huge fundraiser tomorrow night, and Craig Cameron's been good enough to join as the Football Operations Manager. G'day, Craig.
G'day, Kevin. How are you?
Good. The Fighting Tiger Fund is kicking in, and tomorrow night is the big kick-off for the Tiger Fighting Fund, which is going to go right throughout the year. And how's it going so far, and how can people get involved?
I think they can get involved by ringing the club, and there's also a link on our website that can members and supporters can donate to the Fighting Tiger Fund. Tomorrow night we've obviously got our big night at the new centre that we've all moved into this week, which has actually given the players and the staff a huge boost. So there's obviously that method as well on the night, but there'll also be various functions and also some raffles and a few things that are held during the year so that people can get involved.
And also membership is still vitally important. It's just not contributing to the Fighting Fund. If you're generous enough, you can still buy a membership.
Yeah, absolutely. Membership's running pretty well. I think we're close to 38,000 at the moment. I haven't checked the figures this morning, but membership's pretty much in line with how the guys, Kane Little and the guys have sort of planned it to track. So at the moment, we're pretty happy with that.
A little bit of apprehension with tomorrow night, Craig. No one quite knows how it's going to go. The response so far, because the Tiger Fighting Fund is calling for $6 million to allow the Richmond Football Club to once again challenge, win games on a regular basis, and maybe one day that elusive premiership. So a bit of apprehension about going into tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's an interesting night. It's one of those ones where you have no real ability to track expectations. They're one-offs, so there's not a lot of history to draw on to know how they're going to go. The $6 million target is obviously something that we're looking at through the whole period of the campaign. But tomorrow night, we'd expect that a sizable chunk of that would arrive with the night and the people that are speaking and the entertainment and the donations that the guys will make. And
other people, of course, other supporters who are not there tomorrow night, as you say, right throughout the year, they can contribute as well. And, I mean, it's many hands on deck, isn't it? Many hands make light work.
Yeah, there's been a number of people that have worked remarkably long hours to make sure that tomorrow night goes off as a success. And I know we had a board meeting last night and I left and there were still people manning phones and making sure that every little detail of the function was going to work properly.
Craig, what about the pre-season for the Tigers? I know it's on the back page of The Age today, a story by Peter Hanlon saying Richmond may be facing first-round blues again because the practice game form has been disappointing, particularly the performance last week. Things not going as smoothly as the Tigers hoped, according to the article. What's the situation over the pre-season? How have you assessed it? And can the Tigers beat the Blues in round one?
I'll answer the last part first, which is, I think we can beat the Blues. I think Peter's article is interesting in that there's sort of I wouldn't say it's a panic article, but it's an article where he's questioning how we're travelling. But we must remember the practice matches are exactly that. They're for us to test certain parts of our game plan and test certain players to see what positions they can play in. And we haven't played a game for 4 points yet, and started the build through the practice match with a very young group because we wanted to give as many of the guys we drafted last year and the year before a chance to put their hand up for round one. And I think a number of the guys drafted last year or certainly traded in will put their hand up and play in round one. But there's no panic stations with us. We realise that we've tried to implement certain new parts of the game plan which may or may not have worked during the practice match, or we may not have actually got nailed properly. But when the season starts, we're pretty confident we'll give a good account of ourselves.
Well, Carlton have certainly been a nemesis. 139 points, that's been the total winning margin for Carlton over the last two seasons. Got to drag that back just a little bit, Craig.
That, did you?
Eh?
You didn't have to remind me of that.
Got to drag it back just a little bit. Can't have Carlton fans beating their chest every year after round one.
No, I'd be hoping we drag it back to a stage where we're actually winning it, Kevin.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of us looking to reduce a losing margin. We're actually going into the game thinking we can win.
Now, I heard Brad Miller speaking this morning. He's thrilled to be given a second chance. Of course, he's only, 27 years of age from Melbourne. When he first come on board, he said he thought that most people there thought, maybe he's just going to be a rookie player. But in his own mind, he thought, well, this is an opportunity I'm going to grab. I'm going to train really, really hard, get myself as fit as I possibly can, present myself in the best manner, and maybe surprise a few people. And now, maybe that's been the case because he's been elevated.
Yeah, look, the decision to pick up Brad sort of is well documented. That we were a young group coming into this season. We lost some mature age players again at the end of last year, so we actually didn't get any older, even though some of our younger players obviously turned a year older. And we needed to make sure that we didn't expose guys like Ben Griffith, who's had 2 shoulder operations. We didn't want to expose him too early in the season, and we needed to give Jack Riewoldt some physical support with some physical presence down in the forward line, and Brad's a mature age body, and he can give that to us. And he's quite right. He's come down. Whether the rest of us thought he was coming down as a backup or what, he's come down and actually put his hand up to give himself a chance to play round 1.
Was that the final rookie spot for the Tigers, or was that still to be decided?
No, we had a train-on squad, but we've decided not to go with a final rookie spot. So Brad was already on the list, on the rookie squad, sorry, but we made him our nominated rookie because we don't have any veteran players at the club. So the AFL allows clubs that have no veterans to elevate 1 or 2 rookies each year.
Now, I saw where Jack Riewoldt kicked a couple of goals last week, his first game virtually for the season since injuring a knee. Did he move okay?
Yeah, he moved really well. He only played probably 2.5 to 3 quarters in the rotations that he had, but he moved really well, jumped at his marks, which is good, and kicked a couple of goals. So he got through that without any problem. And
Nathan Foley coming off the interchange, the SMSs at the moment. I suppose it's been a long time since the Tigers fans have seen him. They just want to know, is he injury free? They want him for his dream team. They think they're on a winner there. How's he shaping up?
I can tell them certainly put him in your dream team because he's injury free. His pre-season has been really steady, as you'd imagine. First couple of games that he played, he was really testing himself out. I think he was a lot better last week. He's got more confidence now in his Achilles and his ankle. So I'm expecting by round 1 that he's ready to go.
Most Tiger fans think that the future really is around the likes of Cochin and Dustin Martin and Brett Deledio. And I did hear Brad Miller speaking this morning. He said, up close with Cochin this year, didn't realise how explosive he was, and it looks like he can be anything coming into 2011. So I suppose the 3 young guns, that's what people want to know about Cochin, Martin and Deledio.
Well, Cochin has had a terrific pre-season. He just had a little bit of general soreness last week, so we rested him. If it was a game for 4 points, we would have played him. But he's had the best pre-season he's had, so we're expecting, I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but we're expecting really good things of Trent this year. Dustin, after being documented as coming back from his break, probably a little bit in a condition that we weren't so happy with, has really worked hard and is now lighter than he was this time last year, so he's good. And Brett just had a little bit of a bruised heel during the pre-season, but he's played the last game and a half, so he'll be fine to go round 1. So all of those 3 guys were expecting big things off this year.
Now, what about any news on a co-major sponsor yet?
Well, it's not really my area, but it wouldn't surprise me if something happens fairly soon.
Okay. Well, maybe it'd be good if it might even happen tomorrow night, Craig.
You never know, Kevin, at night. Right.
Craig, I'm glad you at least give a bit of hope for the Tiger fans, because when I read the back page of The Age today, I thought we may have thrown in the towel just reading it, because saying it was soul-destroying last week and haven't got enough time, we can't play practice games, and there's still 21 games going after round 1. I just wanted to make certain the Tigers hadn't given the 4 points to the Blues for just turning up.
No, we haven't. But it's always a big build up to round 1. But it's worth 4 points just as the other 21 games are worth. So it's important for us to make sure that everything doesn't get thrown into round 1. But of course we're going into the game to win it. So last week was a disappointing result, and I think in the heat of the moment, terms might have been used such as soul-destroying, but at the end of the day, it was a practice match.
There was Sorry?
Sorry, I was going to say, and practice matches are about us getting our systems right for round 1 and beyond.
There was a comment last week that the club may have had an intra-club game this week, but one of the comments made in The Age today is that the AFL rules would have prevented an intra-club game this week. Is that right? Yeah,
the only way that you can play any sort of organised game this week is if we've had a player that's had missed enough of the pre-season to warrant a hit out with our affiliate side Coburg, and that may happen with Tom Derricks. He may do that because he's missed a little bit of the pre-season, or certainly the last couple of weeks. That we may ask for him to to play with Kobu, but other than that, the AFL rules don't allow us to have an intra-club.
So you can't. And what's behind that? I mean, if a club wanted to get its players together and get a scratch match up and going, what's against that?
I'm pretty sure it's part of the CBA, which is that the players get a week off before the season
Start of the season.
Yeah.
Craig, looking forward towards tomorrow night. I know a lot of Richmond supporters sending through text messages. They see it as being one of the most important nights in the club's history, as the club tries to limit its debt and get itself into a fighting fund so that it can be in position to win games, win finals, and win premierships. So, looking forward to it.
All right, no worries. Thanks very much.
Craig Cameron joining us from the Richmond Football Club. We'll take a break.